I would like to bring up from my book, The Sovereign Light, A Course in Metaphysical Spirituality, the last few pages on 17, day 363, page 843. What is metaphysical spirituality? And as a reverend ordained by the Metaphysical Spirituality Canadian International Ministry, I was informed that the ministry is coming up with a version of what the meaning of metaphysical spirituality is. That kind of reminded me what the whole purpose of why I did this. And so on the last couple of pages and lessons, I went through the troubles of so let's begin. There is no trouble here. From all, I'm going to read this for all and for all purposes, what my interpretation of the metaphysical spirituality means to me. And I will start reading, and this will be part 1 because it might be too lengthy. And I noticed that nobody's taken any interest in kind of including me, or somehow, hey Maria, we really like this idea, why don't you tell us about it? And now it took me something like this to make me realize that I totally got blindsided and never included it because I thought people would actually be interested in this book. Anyway, I'm not in the intentions of pushing my own agendas or anything, but this was inspired for my ministry, from my ministry, and this is what motivated me, the whole purpose of why I did what I did. And perhaps this will help the entire ministry. From all the special points along the way that define the self, of where it has been, where it is, and where it is going, and all that we discussed before, to recommend, to summarize, that source is this pure energy that had required for the self to create reference points as markers to remember, and of those parts that had impressed upon it mostly from it. Lesson 317 is this affirmation, and it's an idea, and all these affirmations are there to trigger you throughout the day, to get you going, like an inspirational quote, like a motivational something to get your emotions, that energy flowing, okay? So, beyond my mind and through the energetic information field outside the walls of space-time illusion is where my heart provides a field directly to involve with my intuitive perception. All around the self is an energetic field, a database information projected outwardly from this giant physical embodiment, this essence that is self. As an organic computer, it can tap into from its field, and through its breath this field exists. The metaphysical world is from a macroscopic universal awareness coexisting with a microscopic one. From the inner workings of the mitochondria that travel to reveal from its very own Genesis, the very DNA, which is the coding system to physical existence, structures for the mental and emotional configuration, and for the software of the personality. That is, for everything around the self to change. From this book, the self by now has learned how to touch the DNA and impress upon it what it seeks to manifest. The genetic configuration right down as far back, tracing the entire lineage of how life must be for the self to grow up under such influence, susceptible to attach in with as its system for beliefs. And here again, beyond my mind and through the energetic information field outside the walls of space-time illusion is where my heart provides a field directly to involve with my intuitive perception. This is page 844, excerpt from the book The Sovereign Light, A Course in Metaphysical Spirituality. These programs can be made to block or conflict with newer intention, to set in motion and in part from a magnetic stranded structure when decoded as the clearing away of the old to make room for the new, and all that once before were seen as miracles to readjust as, and at the very least acknowledge such empowerment for thyself. This is where the interruption must occur to break up these old beliefs that were mostly not even applicable to serve the self in this timeline or any other that has evolved from to choose to be in the here and now for its experience. This is the junk that needs to be cleared and transmuted for DNA to transfigure into something else, and that could resonate with its transcendence in the now, to influence and impress upon its consciousness with and transform for its reality to what is known as manifesting miracles. Look at the metaphysics of such distance and of the connection to the subtle bioelectric energy field. The etheric that surrounds the self is the monad and can hold such a map of its feelings. Today's lesson is all about the following affirmation: I change everything I touch, and everything I touch changes. It's also a Wiccan concept, okay? This is not about motivation to diversify. Rather, it is about inspiration, and from it, the purpose to feel the expression from its awareness. Thank you, Canadian International Metaphysical Ministry. Thank you, Greg Bright, for inspiring me and reminding me what this whole thing was about. Look for the opportunities that can bring out the spirit at home in all things, self included. They are often disguised as challenges with diversity. And now, the next one, because this might have taken too long, part 2, I will not say too much from me, okay? And in closing, part 2, it will be 2 pages, 45. Oh my God. Okay. Well, there's 3 parts to it, but they're 2 pages each, so there's 4 more pages. And I will leave it at that. And this was part 1. Thank you very much.